Listen closely. The moment you stop respecting yourself, the world doesn't attack you all at once. It takes your power slowly, quietly, so quietly that one day you wake up and wonder, how did I end up here? You didn't lose power because you were weak. You lost it because you slowly forgot your worth. And today, we're going to talk about how that happens and how to stop it. Most people think power is loud, money, status, strength. But real power is much simpler. It's the ability to say no without guilt, to walk away without explaining, to stand still without begging for approval. And the scary part? You don't lose that power in one big moment. You lose it in small decisions that feel harmless at the time. You let one comment slide. You tolerate one disrespectful joke. You stay silent when something feels wrong. You say it's okay when it's not. And every time you do that, something inside you shrinks. This topic matters because almost everyone watching this has felt it. That quiet feeling in your chest, that sense that people don't take you seriously anymore, that exhaustion from always adjusting yourself for others. You might be doing everything right. You're kind, you're patient, you're understanding, but somehow you feel powerless. That's not bad luck. That's not your personality. That's the cost of losing self respect slowly. Self respect isn't arrogance. It's not being rude. It's not thinking you're better than others. Self respect is simply this: you don't abandon yourself to keep others comfortable. And when you stop respecting yourself, life starts testing you harder, not to punish you, but to see how much you'll tolerate. Let's talk about how this loss of power actually happens. The first way you lose power is by tolerating what hurts you. Not big things at first, small things. Someone interrupts you constantly. You let it go. Someone makes a joke at your expense. You smile even though it stings. Someone ignores your time. You tell yourself they're just busy. You convince yourself you're being mature, understanding, calm. But deep down, something feels off. Here's the truth most people won't tell you: what you tolerate becomes your standard. When you don't correct disrespect, you don't look peaceful. You look available for more disrespect. Think about it. If someone borrows money and never returns it, but you keep lending again, what lesson are you teaching them? If someone cancels plans last minute again and again, and you always say no problem, what message are you sending? You're not teaching them kindness. You're teaching them that your feelings don't matter. And every time you choose silence over self respect, your confidence takes a hit. You feel smaller, less solid, less sure of yourself. That's power leaving your body quietly. The second way you lose power is by seeking approval over truth. You start measuring your worth by reactions, by likes, by validation, by how others feel about you. You say things you don't fully believe. You agree when you want to disagree. You hide parts of yourself to be accepted. And slowly, you forget what you actually want. Let me ask you something. How often do you change your behavior just to avoid disappointing someone? How often do you say yes while your mind screams no? At first, it feels safe. Approval feels like protection. If people like you, they won't leave, right? But here's the paradox: the more you chase approval, the less people respect you. Because respect comes from consistency, from knowing who you are and standing by it. When you don't respect your own boundaries, why would anyone else? You end up living a version of yourself that feels acceptable, but empty. And that emptiness is the price of lost power. The third way you lose power is by over explaining yourself. You feel the need to justify everything: your decisions, your feelings, your boundaries. You say no, but then you explain for 5 minutes. You take a break, but you apologize for it. You stand up for yourself, but you soften it until it barely exists. Why? Because deep down, you're afraid of being seen as difficult, as selfish, as wrong. But confident people don't over explain. They don't argue for their right to exist. They don't beg to be understood. Over explaining is a sign that you don't fully trust your own decisions yet, and that lack of trust leaks into everything: your posture, your voice, your presence. People can feel it. They may not know why, but they sense it. And when they sense uncertainty, they push boundaries. Not because they're evil, but because human nature responds to strength and clarity. The fourth way you lose power is by staying where you're not respected. This one hurts the most. You stay in friendships that drain you, in jobs that undervalue you, in relationships where your needs are always too much. You stay because of history, because of hope, because you don't want to start over. But staying where you are, tolerated instead of valued, slowly destroys your self image. You start questioning yourself. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe I should try harder. Maybe this is just how life is. No, that's not reality. That's self respect eroding. Powerful people leave environments that shrink them. Not angrily, not dramatically, calmly, decisively. They understand that their energy is limited and they refuse to waste it on places that don't honor it. Now, here's the important part. How do you take your power back? First, you start listening to discomfort, that tight feeling in your chest, that hesitation before saying yes, that exhaustion after certain conversations. That's not weakness, that's information. Discomfort is often your self respect trying to speak. Second, you practice small boundaries, not big confrontations. Small, clear limits. You don't need long speeches. A simple, I'm not okay with that is enough. I can't do that right now. I need some space. Say it once. Say it calmly and watch what happens. People who respect you will adjust.
People who don't reveal themselves. And that clarity is power. Third, you stop negotiating your worth. You don't need permission to rest, to change, to outgrow people, to choose yourself. When you stop explaining, apologizing, and shrinking, your presence changes. You speak slower. You stand firmer. You don't rush to please, and something interesting happens. People start treating you differently, not because you demanded respect, but because you finally showed it to yourself. Here's the takeaway. You don't lose power in dramatic failures. You lose it in quiet compromises, in ignored feelings, in tolerated disrespect. But the good news is this. Power returns the same way it left. Slowly, through small choices. Every time you honor your feelings. Every time you say no without guilt. Every time you walk away from what drains you. That's you reclaiming your power. So ask yourself today, where have you been abandoning yourself? Where have you been silent to keep peace? Where have you been accepting less than you deserve? That's where your power is waiting. If this message hit you, let me know in the comments. What's one boundary you know you need to set? If you found value here, like the video and subscribe. Because self-respect isn't built in one moment. It's built every day.